everyone, and welcome to our monthly restaurant forum. Today, we are delighted to have Mailena Urso. She's the co-owner of Big Box Karaoke and Concord Adams. And the topic for today is to talk about how you can update your menus using Canva. So with that, Mailena, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hello, everybody. Mailena Urso. Can I share my screen? Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and present to you. So like Catherine said, I am the owner of Big Box Karaoke and a marketing company called Concord Adams. So today we're going to be talking about Canva and how you can use it to design menus. First, I just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of background on myself and tell you that before I opened Big Box Karaoke, I worked in corporate settings as a marketer, and I worked for an influencer marketing company based in Rogers. I worked for a national women's apparel fashion brand based here in Arkansas. And so I got a lot of really great B2B and B2C, business to business and business to consumer marketing experience. And in each of those experiences, I got the opportunity to have a team of people to help me with marketing those companies. And those teams were made up of content marketers, people who wrote a lot of really great marketing content for me, and also people who designed really great marketing pieces for digital channels, for print media, all of that. And it was great. And as I was moving along in my professional career as a marketer, my husband and I, who I own Big Box Karaoke with, really, we fell in love with private room karaoke, which is where we were introduced to it in Japan when we lived in Japan after college, and moved to Chicago for a bit, found a place in Chicago that was that style of karaoke, tried to open it up in Chicago. The recession was during that time. No one wanted to lend any money to some young 20-somethings. And we didn't have any money. But Big Box Karaoke has always been a passion project of ours. And we moved back home to Arkansas, and while doing our professional careers and also wanting to start this karaoke business. In 2015, we tried again, but the building that we had leased was just not going to work out. It was a little bit too far out of the budget that we had intended for a build out, and so we tabled the project. And in May of 2018, we passed a building, that the building we're in now, and it was perfect location-wise. It was perfect structural-wise, and we called, and 6 months later we opened. And so I know that, you know, all of you have stories about why and how you came to be and how you opened your business. That's a little bit about how Big Box Karaoke started. So we opened officially December of 2018, and we had our first full year of business in 2019, and it was an amazing year in business. Toward the end of that year, we were actually looking at expanding and opening a second location in Rogers. And meanwhile, on my daytime job as a marketer, became more of a consulting type role, which was awesome because it gave me the flexibility to focus on Big Box Karaoke. And at the end of 2019, we decided, okay, a lot of my consulting contracts are ending, and Big Box Karaoke is sort of ramping up with a potential second location. I decided not to move forward with any other contracts for Concord Adams. And then we all know what happened in March of 2020. So that forced us to think about, okay, well, what can we do? We had both sort of given up all of our side hustles and went all in on Big Box. And so March or in June of last year, I really focused on my consulting business, which is Concord Adams. And we do a lot of web design work, branding work, and marketing services for small to mid-sized businesses. And so I wanted to kind of paint the picture of all of that, because on my corporate side of my career, I've had these great teams of people to help with some design work and all of that. But as a small business owner, as you know, you don't have resources to hire all these people to do all these things for you. And so you kind of have to learn how to do everything. And so as Big Box Karaoke owner, we were definitely operators working in the business, and I leveraged my marketing background to help market the business. But again, I'm not a designer. I've never been a designer. I've never trained to be a designer. I've always led designers, and I have a good design eye, but when it came to actually designing something, I just really didn't know how. And I didn't want to spend a lot of money on learning how to use those design software programs like Illustrator and InDesign and Photoshop and all that. So I learned about Canva, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about Canva in just a minute. Was there a question? No. Okay. So today I'm going to give you a small introduction of Canva if you've never heard of it before, and how to set up a free account. It's totally free. We're going to go through Canva and just show you some basics of designing in Canva. And then I'm going to focus on designing a menu, because I know that everything is changing in our restaurant worlds and prices are increasing, and I decided to build my menu in Canva to have the flexibility to make changes when I needed to make changes. So that means pricing changes, that means menu item changes, all of that. So I'm going to go right in. And again, the problem with not being a designer, but being a small business owner is design is really important. And we live in this digital world where we have to capture the attention of our customers somehow. And we really have to make sure that our content is really designed in a way that is going to attract that attention, be on brand, and communicate what we need to communicate. But what's the problem? We don't have time to learn all this stuff. We don't have the skills, and we don't have the resources. So I get it. And I've talked about this as small business owners. Oh, I'm missing a picture. Well, there was a picture right over here of me in the kitchen cooking. And that was just an example of, I'm sure you find yourself in the kitchen cooking or serving or whatever it is in your business, and those are the priorities. That's what you have to spend time on. Spending time on designing a menu is something that probably falls to the bottom of your list, just because there are different priorities that you have to spend your time on. But it should be a priority, and Canva makes it really easy to do it. I do not work for Canva. I do not get paid by Canva. I just love this platform so much, and that's why I use it. And I like to help people understand how to use it. And why do I love it? I love it because it's free. And you don't have to have any design experience at all. Even like I tell you that I have a good design eye. I know what good design looks like, but you don't even have to have that. And I'll show you why. And it saves a lot of time, and it's easy to learn and easy to use. Oh my gosh, sorry, let me just do a refresh real fast. All my photos are not. Okay. Okay, so this slide here kind of just shows you some examples of some of the different graphics that I've created in Canva for Big Box Karaoke. I do a lot of my graphics for social media in Canva, and here are my menus. So I wanted to show this because I want you to know that you can create so many different pieces of content in Canva. And I do not have a designer that I work with for any of these. I do them all on my own, and it's super simple. So the basics of designing with Canva is really easy, and I'm going to show you this in Canva in just a minute. But for anything that you create, you choose the purpose. So if it's a social media graphic, if it's a menu, then you will choose that, and then you will find a template. Canva has thousands of templates that have been created by designers for us to use. Some of them are for free. A lot of them are for free. Some of them you can pay for. They do have a paid plan where you can get more templates to use and have additional features that you're able to use. But the free version is very robust in itself. I'm not going to really go over the difference between a free version and a paid version. I did a Canva 101 class with ASBTDC back in, I think, May. So there's a recording of that if you want a fuller version of a Canva 101 training, then I suggest watching that. And we'll do some of it today. And then you customize the template based on what you want to create for your menu or your social media graphic or whatever it is. You can change out fonts, you can change out the images, all of that. Then when it's set, you just download that image and then you share it, or you send it to the printer, or whatever it is. Okay, so let's design. Does anybody have any questions before I go into Canva? Nothing? Okay. Well, so when you go to Canva, you're going to see my Canva, and my Canva's, I use it for a lot of things. So thanks, Lisa. So you'll see that mine's a little cluttered. When you sign up for a free, let me just go to an incognito window and show you what you'll see when you go. So when you go to canva.com, if you've never signed up before, you'll go to canva.com and you'll sign up. And you can sign up with your Google, with Facebook, or just with an email and a password. But this is what it looks like. I'm going to go back to mine and show you. When you log in, you'll see a dashboard basically that shows you the different templates and everything. Again, I'm just going to do a brief tour around Canva because it can feel like a lot if it's your first time. But they make it super easy. So I'm logged in, and you can see that they break it down in buckets here. If you go to templates here, you can see the different templates that they have, and it ranges from social media, and then it dives even deeper to each of those different social media content pieces that you might have to create, invitations, cards, resumes, business presentations, which I created this presentation in Canva. So the one that I just took you through, any flyers, I've created postcards in Canva, and I can show you some of those in a minute. If you are in education, there are some really great templates there. You can also do videos and things. And if you're interested in video, I did do video tutorials in Canva in the Canva 102 training, which Chris can link to. And something else I wanted to show you is this brand kit. The brand kit is something that comes with the paid version of Canva. There are some things you can do with the brand kit with the free version. And what the brand kit allows you to do is it allows you to add all your logos here. It allows you to set your brand colors, and it allows you to set your brand fonts, so that when you're creating a social media graphic, for example, or a menu, then all of that is already set and you don't have to go and select it and find it and all that. There's also things like a content planner, which honestly I've never really played around with. If you do a lot of social media, they just added this year or last year, I don't remember, but you can go in and select your Instagram post and write out copy and all of that. The only thing, I don't know if you can publish, well, I think you can publish from here. The one thing that's really cool about Canva, and if you listen to the 102 training, you'll see that I'm not an expert in Canva, but it's so easy to learn. They make it really easy that you can't mess anything up. You can just get in there and go and just start playing around. And so I'm going to start playing around with the menu. So what I like to do, I'm just going to go back to the home, is just go right here. And I'm just going to write out what I want to make. And so it starts suggesting a whole bunch of things here. So you can even dive deeper and kind of see what the templates look like. But I'm just going to go to menu. And you'll see that they have a whole bunch of different menu templates. So this is a view that you can see where you can just kind of look at all their menu templates and pick one to start off with. And it'll pop it open. Let me go back here and show you. So see how it says free there. That means that template's free to use. There are some templates that are not free to use, but you can pay a fee to use it without paying the subscription, the monthly fee. So I'm just going to go and play with this one. But so it opened this one up, and let me make it a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to show you some basic things, and then I'll show you my big box karaoke menu. But let's say that this menu template is sort of what I'm looking for. I know that I have a lot of different categories for my restaurant, and I know I want to add some images. This is a good start to my menu. And maybe I want to add my logo. So I'm going to go to BBK logos, which this is a benefit of the brand kit in the paid version. And I know that I'm going to put it right here. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to delete that little circle that came with the template. And I'm going to pick a big box logo, maybe this square one. I'm just going to resize it and move it to here. And see those little purple lines, those are the grids. So it shows you how it's aligning with the rest of the content on the page. So I use that a lot to make sure that things are centered and all of that. And I'm going to see how it's highlighting all of that text. That means it's grouped. And so if I want to just edit menu, the word menu, I'm going to click on that, and well, maybe it's not all group. Yep, no, I'm wrong. I'm going to do that, but I want to change my font. I have a brand font for Big Box, and I'm going to change it to that. And I'm going to decrease the size of it because that's so big. And I'm going to move it down to align with that logo a little bit. And I'm going to change the color. So color is this. And again, those brand colors that I put in my brand kit are already populated there. So I'm going to choose that blue. And I'm just playing around with this. So I hope this is helpful. I'm going to delete all food because I don't really want that there. And I can put food and drinks here or something. And then again, because I want this to be customized for Big Box, I'm going to change that to one of my brand colors. And see, it's starting to look a little bit more like my restaurant. I can change out these hours here, and then I can go and change out all of this stuff. Let me show you an image swap. So with Big Box Karaoke, I have lots of images in here, but let me find an image that I want to add. So you would just find one. Let's see if I can find one real fast.
Mailena, this is Julia. I have a quick question.
Yeah.
For the brand kit, is that only available for the paid subscription, or is the free version also available?
So what I'm showing you is with the paid subscription. What the free version allows you to do is I think you can set 3 colors, and you can maybe set some fonts, but it's no custom fonts. My fonts are custom, so I had to upload my fonts to Canva to set that. But if you have fonts that are already loaded into Canva, you can set those fonts. So some of their free fonts, and I think you can set 3 colors, and that's all. You can't upload any logos or anything. So it's a basic brand kit that you can create, but yeah, it's not everything I'm showing you.
Got it. Thanks.
So I found a cocktail photo. So when you have a photo you want to use on Canva, you can literally, you see my window here, you can literally move the photo that you want and just put it here, and it starts uploading it right here. And then I'm going to drag it to the box that's already there on the template, and see how it popped it in there, and it kept the size that that previous photo was. And now it's my photo. You can, if you want to shrink it, you can shrink it, or you can keep the same size. There's a whole bunch of different things you can do with photos. There's like filters and all that you can use. You can adjust stuff, you can crop it, all this stuff. Let's see how I get out there. And so that's how you sort of manipulate and edit within Canva. So I suggest, if you're interested in building out a menu, obviously the benefit of using Canva is that you can edit it. But the hardest part of it is getting it set in Canva. So you'll spend a long time getting your template created. And I definitely did with the big box menu, but it has paid off, because now when we're going through our pricing changes right now, I simply went in and made all my pricing edits, and I downloaded the new versions and I sent it to the printer. So it was really time saving. Let me show you my big box. Let me show you one other thing, sorry. Obviously this is not a good menu here, but I want to show you once it's all done. Let's say this is something else that is that comes with the paid version. You can resize your file, and it will take everything that you created and just put it in a resized version of it. So let's say I want it to be, I don't know, 11 by 17, which is huge, but let's just say that. And I'm going to copy and resize it. It's going to take it and put it on that 11 by 17 with everything that I created in that thing, in that template. So if I want to, I can maybe increase it a bit to take up more of the paper, center it, and now it's 11 by 17. So when I download it, which it's here, I can download it and go to my PDF print, and I can add crop marks and bleed if I want to for the printer, so they know like this is where they're going to cut the paper. I would download it, it would save as a PDF file, and I would send it to my printer to print off. You can do a front and back. So let's say I want a back menu, a back part of this menu that is just drinks. This is going to be all food. I'm going to copy this page here, and I'm going to use it as a template for my drinks on the back. And so maybe I just put drinks here and I put food here. And now I start editing this. So it's just maybe it's my draft beer, my cocktails, my wine, whatever. And then whenever I download it, it'll download as 2 separate PDFs, and I would send that to my printer and say, I have a front and back menu, food on one side, drinks on the other, full color, 11 by 17, and then I'm good to go. I'll show you my menus. I can find them. So here's my menus, and you will not find a template that looks exactly like this because I started from one of these templates and I made it my own. So I'm just gonna duplicate this page, and I'm pretty sure I started with this template. So you can kind of see some similarities, some of the lines, and the title of the dish with the description, some pricing. I didn't choose to keep any images, but yeah, so I kind of just manipulated the template to work for what I needed, which took a long time because the first time I did it, it wasn't really there. But if you do this on your own, I suggest getting it to a version and sitting on it, sleeping on it, show it to your business partner or whoever, and then maybe go back in and make some edits. And that's what I did with ours. We were editing our menu to add some more items, which was a challenge because our menus originally were square menus and not as many offerings. And now we were moving to a little bit more, and it wouldn't fit on a square menu. So we chose to do an 8.5 by 11 format. And so I chose to categorize my different menu items. And you can see I have subcategories within each of those. And then pricing on there. The drink menu was, I knew I wanted one side to be food, one side to be drinks. So I had to make sure all my drinks fit on one side. And then the other thing that we offer at Big Box is sake. And so I wanted to have a sake menu. So I want to only have 2 menus, front, back, food and beverage, and then a sake menu with our sake menu on one side. And I wanted some kind of marketing on the other side of sake because it's not a drink that a lot of people know about. So we wanted to do some education around it. So you can see it on this side here. So yeah, so you can see that both menus, they look like they're coming from Big Box Karaoke or from the same restaurant anyway. I decided I wanted, because if you haven't been to Big Box, we have private rooms for karaoke. And so in those private rooms, when it's on, it's dark and there's party lights going on and it's loud. And so I knew I wanted the menus to be able to be seen in that sort of environment. And there's usually a lot of people in those rooms, and I wanted it to be clear for people to know what menu they were picking up. So I wanted it to say food really big, drinks really big, sake really big. And so, yeah, I think that I'm really happy with the menu that we created. And so whenever I went in just recently, I needed to go and change out some pricing. And so all I did was literally go in and change some pricing. I added a couple new things and I deleted some things. But I just went in and I named my menu Q2. So I knew that this was my Q2 menu. And so if I go back in and want to do another menu update, what I will do is I will go to File and make a copy. So I have a brand new file for it, and I'm going to rename it to Q3 so that I know it's my Q3 menu, and then I would go make all those changes and then download and send it off to the printer. Any questions? I know this is really fast. I'm happy to go into more detail or show you other things.
And Mailena, I don't see any questions pop up yet.
Okay, let me show you. We're doing, let's see, what did we do? Oh, I did hire a designer for that. I was going to show you a postcard that we're doing, but okay. Well, let's say, you know, those little table tent cards that some restaurants have. We launched a new happy hour with some new daily specials. And so I wanted to be able to print off those little postcards and set them on the table so that people can see that special menu and see those daily specials every time they come in. And so let me see if I can find it. So I create those.
Are you able to do like QR code menus on Canva, on Canvas?
Yeah.
Canva.
You can. Here, I'll show you. I don't know if you can create a QR code on Canva, but I can show you how I create QR codes and then put it on Canva. Let me show you this real fast. This is one of those table tent cards that I was telling you about. And what you would do is you would figure out the size of that table tent frame or whatever you're using to put it in. And let me just start from the front here. You can go to create a design and you can go to custom size. So you don't have to start with any of these templates here. You can start with the size. And let's say you have a 5x6, 5-inch by 6-inch frame. And so you're going to create a new design. And then you can find a template to work with. And so maybe it's our menu. And you can kind of see what they have here and choose one. And it pops it into the size that you're working with, and you can make the edits from there. So that's another way to kind of start. And that's the way I usually start, is I start with my size, because usually that's something dictated by something else. And then I start with a template, and you can just write in whatever here to kind of get inspiration. So for QR codes, I'm just going to, let's say I wanted this and I wanted people to book a karaoke room from this marketing piece right here. I'm pretty sure you can't. Let me just see. I don't know if you can do QR codes in. Yeah, no, you can't. But there are tons of free QR code generators, and I would just pick one. And so this is one here, and I'm just going to go to make it bigboxkaraoke.com. And so it generates it here. So you can download any one of these QR codes that they have here, but I'm just going to get this square. So I'll just download it. Oh, it's going to make me sign up. So you can sign up. I'm just going to, for the purpose of this, I'm going to just screenshot it. And I will drag it in. So it's just an image. And that's how I did. I think probably you saw my QR code down here. That goes to a sake club landing page for people to sign up. But I would just pop it over here. And oh, now I have to get it. So here it is. I'm going to make it smaller and maybe put it right here. And maybe I'll say scan to book. And increase that a bit. Let me show you something else real fast since we have time. Let's say I want to put an arrow that points to scan to book to the QR code to make it just give it a little something extra. There's all these different elements in Canva that are free to use. Elements include shapes and lines, photos, all the like stock videos, which you would see in my 102 training. But I use this search field a lot and to find what I'm looking for. So an arrow, they give you a whole bunch of different arrows, animated arrows, all that stuff. I'm just gonna pick one. See, it says free. Some of these are pro. And again, you can use them and pay, I think it's like $1 to use it, or if you have a paid subscription, then they're free. But I have my arrow and I'm just going to kind of tilt it a little bit. And then I'm going to change the color to this cream color. I don't know if you can see that on your computer, but to match. I can also increase or decrease the spacing between the letters like that. And you can also increase and decrease the spacing between the lines. And that's what this is. Any questions about any of that?
So on the QR code generator, you pretty much type where the content is and download the image and then just add it to your creative.
Yes. Yeah, use a, I'm not sure if this is the one I want or the one I usually use, but yeah, you would just put the URL that you want to point people to. So for me, I usually want to point people to our reservation page. And so I would find that page. Is it reservation request? This page here. And so then it generates the code. And then that QR code is what I would use on whatever marketing piece that is talking about booking. So maybe for you, it's make a reservation at Havana or order online, and maybe it goes directly to your online ordering site. Or I know a lot of restaurants are doing this too, where they don't have menus in their restaurants and they have instead the QR code on the table and the customers scan the QR code to see the menus on their phone. And so that's what you would do. The URL that you put here would go to that menu page. And then the QR code would be generated and you could print off those and put it on your tables.
Yeah, thank you. Very, very simple.
Yes.
Well explained. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Anything else? Let me see if there's anything else I can show you. For those, I mean, I know this is a menu training, but I feel like there's not much more I can say about menus. I mean, just to recap, you can start with the size that you're wanting your menu to be. I think that's probably the best place to start. So go to create a design and then put your size here. 11 by 17 again, and create new, and then type in menu. And you can see all of these different templates here. They break it out by categories too. So find one that really kind of gives you a good start to what you're trying to do, and just play with it. So you can, if it's a bar menu and you know you have a ton of options, then, you know, maybe this one's a good start. And then it pops it in there, and then you can start editing it. You can edit these little bars here for the color. You can edit the background. That's not a good one, but you can edit the background. You can find a color, like maybe you have a brand color and you know the code for that color, you can add it here. Even if it doesn't, if this template is something that you like and maybe you just want an image and the template doesn't have an image, you can add an image. And I can show you how to do that. Let's just say I'm going to put this back in here, and I just pop it in there, and move it up here. And maybe I'll move all this stuff to the side. And maybe I don't like these orange squigglies, so I'm going to delete them. So yeah, you can change it as much as you want. Maybe you don't have pricing that has, you know, cents on it. It's just $1. It's by the dollar. And so you don't want to add these zeros and you want to save space. So you can delete that and edit it. But that's where I would start, is choose your size of your menu, find a template that gets you a lot of the way there, customize that template to be in your brand, which means colors, photos, logos, fonts, customize it, add in your menu items, and then play around with it and edit it, get it to a good stopping point, look at it a little bit, have somebody else look at it, give you some feedback, and then kind of go back in and make, you know, some more changes based on that feedback. And yeah, getting that first template built is the thing that you're going to spend the most time on again. But after that template is built, editing it from there will take you no time at all. And it'll just give you so much flexibility in making those updates, especially with, you know, the times we're in now with changing things as much as we are. It's really helpful. We found it helpful anyway. That's it.
Yeah, I do have to agree. Yeah, thank you. No, you did great. Thank you so much for taking the time and walking us through these. I do have to agree. It's been, I don't want to say painful, because just like you, as a marketer, it's very easy when you have a support team that can do all of this for you. But yeah, getting to a template, it's I've been trying to get to one for the last 3 months, and I'm still not there. I mean, anyone that's on the call right now, it's definitely going to be the part where you're going to spend the most time. And it's my recommendation. It's like, if you have a vision in your head as to what you want will help. It's, for me, that's been the most difficult part. It's that, you know, what is it that I want this menu to look like? It's been the most challenging, because definitely they have all kinds of, you know, layouts that you can use for free, for sure. But it's, you know, what is your vision? And going in without one, in my case, has been the most difficult part.
Yeah.
And it's going to take you some time, for sure. But great job, Mailena, as always.
Thank you.
And I'm in love with my website. You did a great job.
You're welcome. I love it too. Well, you definitely had a vision for that. So, and I'm glad we could execute on it. But Julia's right. If you have something in mind, try to find a template that matches what your vision is, and and it's okay that it's not 100% there, because it's up to you to get it there. And that's the benefit of Canva. You get to customize it so that it's yours, but they can get you, 50% there or whatever with those templates.
Mailena, and one of the things you said to me at the very beginning, just start, just jump in, and you've got to start somewhere, and then you'll kind of figure out where you want your whatever you're creating your menu to go. But that you kind of really pushed me to do that, and that was really helpful for me.
Yeah, and then you didn't break anything, right?
No, I didn't.
Well, thank you, Mailena. I think this has been really valuable information, and not just menu prices, but you mentioned you wanted to add some items on your menu, and I know for a lot of folks, they're having to substitute items, so they need to change up their ingredient dishes as prices fluctuate, or the ability to get supply of certain items or not get them. They have to make substitutions. So. And Canva is just really professional. And the best thing that any brand professional will tell you is just be consistent. Get something that looks good. Don't overcomplicate it, but just get something that looks nice and professional, and just keep it consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'm going to stop recording now.